So it's a year ago I made a bit of a mistake actually. I'd been in this separation and these intense mystical experiences, or a kind of separation, for about 7 months, and this was the date that ended. And I could tell that it wasn't ready, and I tried to walk away from things to the disappointment of my other self, huge disappointment, because I could really sense that. And then I started to worry that I was self-sabotaging, and I backtracked. And there was a purpose in that, because a lot of growth occurred in a period for both parties in a period of about 2.5 months. But yeah, looking back at that, that was a mistake. I mean, what happens, your other self is an indicator of your progress. So I'd really made a lot of progress. And when you get to that kind of point of alignment with your soul, that then pop up as like a little indicator that you're on the right track. But then what happens to nearly everybody, they lose focus. All of that goes out the window. All the attention goes on the other person and their problems and their patterns. And the whole thing just starts up again. And from everyone I read, like, you must not make that mistake. And, perhaps there'll be another time round with that. And that's certainly not, it's a pledge really to myself that I won't let that happen, really. I mean, I can, from hindsight, the growth that you go through is mirrored on the other side of the connection, regardless of whether you speak or not. I think I was at a point where I really needed, I'd kind of walked in the dark so long with all this weird shit going on, I needed some physical proof of that what I was doing was working and what I thought was going on was happening. And I tell you what, I had that in spades. It's a miracle how, as you align with your soul and become spiritually aware, the other person does too, and they drop all their shit and start learning and growing and changing their life in exactly the same way you are. And you don't want to be interfering with that process. Just let that happen, I think. So if you're in this scenario, I mean, don't do what I did. I mean, you don't really want to, there's a natural tendency to try and influence the other person's journey because they're a mirror. You can see what their blocks are, you can see where they're going wrong, what's holding them back, what they need to do, what their challenges are. And I think sometimes that less conscious self, they come around because they do need to learn from you. But I think I've got enough faith now that they don't need answers from you. Like, you're just one thing, so your energy affects them very directly. So you don't need to actually worry about that, because as soon as you do, you're taking a focus off you and you're energetically pushing them away. So it's a journey about faith, really. There's a lot of, trusting in your intuition and your inner knowing. I think it is nice when you have this physical proof that that's what's going on. But how much do you need, really? I mean, I'm at a point I genuinely, even though ego gets a little bit involved and I have certain worries, I know where things are at, and I know everything's always exactly as it's supposed to be. God doesn't make mistakes. It's only it's us trying to put our illusion of control onto things. But yeah, it's amazing to me that that's a year ago. Like, my perception of time on this journey is just fucked, really. It's really bizarre how, especially when I was having lots of mystical experiences right at the beginning, like that, there was only about there was like a 4-month window with lots of change and growth. That could have been years. That, like, time moved very slowly, and then all of a sudden things are just bang, just sped up. Like, I say it's a year ago, it could have been a couple of months ago is how it felt, like maximum. It's really bizarre. Really, really bizarre. Because we're dealing with the soul doesn't, time is an illusion. Time is of the physical world. Um, you can't really get too attached to time and worry about time on this journey. Okay, thank you.